For more on the federal response, I'm joined now by Marcus Coleman from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA. Marcus, welcome.
Thank you, Mike.
As someone who responds to disasters, what's your biggest concern right now?
So, Mike, I'm currently in the National Response Coordination Center. That's a place where we have all federal government agencies and several non-government partners, making sure that we are pre-positioned and well-planned to help support the needs of any of the impacted states and communities. We also have a team of people deployed to California and have a permanent presence in California, and we're coordinating very closely with California's Office of Emergency Services to ensure that any pre-positioned personnel or equipment that's needed, that we're able to provide it. Biggest concern that I have is that people take this storm seriously and that they're taking final steps to prepare. So 3 things that I'm encouraging my family to do: follow the instructions of local officials, take time to do the final preparation now, and make sure to visit either ready.gov or listoscalifornia.org for the preparedness information that you need as we continue to anticipate impacts from this storm.
It appears the track of the storm is going to go through a lot of desert areas, a lot of areas not used to much rain at all. A couple inches of rain can be a big deal for some of those communities. Is flooding your biggest concern?
Yes, flooding, flash flooding, power outages, things like hurricanes, as our colleagues from the National Hurricane Center just spoke to. There are going to be a lot of different type of things that may happen, and we want individuals and families to make sure that they're taking steps to be prepared, making sure they have access to food, non-perishable food items, water, and more importantly, that we're checking on friends, neighbors, and loved ones. I was encouraged to see communities all throughout Southern California and various states taking preparedness measures and precautions. And so if your household is prepared, the next thing we want to make sure is that you're caring for loved ones and next door neighbors as well. We know that there's going to be storm surge, mudslides. There are a lot of different hazards that can happen, and we want to make sure that individuals and communities are ready for whatever may come.
And for folks looking at the maps on our screens who may live in that path and the storm may be quickly approaching, is your message to hunker down and ride it out at this point?
Yeah, we want people to follow the instructions for local officials. And so for some, that may be staying home and staying safe, as was reported earlier. But the key thing is to make sure that people are plugged in and connected to those local officials. They're going to be the ones to provide you the best guidance for your community. We cannot underestimate what we don't know. And so the key thing that we do know is that you can take time to prepare now, following the guidance of local officials. And in the event of flash flooding in your community, turn around, don't drown. We don't want people trying to drive through roadways that may be flooded, as mentioned earlier. Again, if you see flooding, turn around, don't drown, and continue to follow that guidance of those local officials.
My guess is your teams on the West Coast are used to preparing for a massive earthquake or wildfires, but a hurricane, first time in 84 years or so. What about that aspect?
FEMA's mission is to help people before, during, and after disasters, and that includes all hazards. And so incredibly proud to be a part of an entire agency whose personnel are focused on all hazards, from natural hazards, as you mentioned, wildfires, atmospheric river flooding, floods, hurricanes, and that nature. We have an incredible team, not just here at FEMA, but across the federal interagency. And more importantly, we appreciate the coordination that we do with our state and county counterparts as well. California OES has been a leader for us, and we've been with them to support every step of the way to make sure that we're taking a whole of government effort. And we're going to continue to take not only a whole of government effort, but work with our colleagues like the Red Cross, Salvation Army, and others to make sure that we are inclusive and supportive of working with the whole community.
Marcus Coleman from FEMA, I respect how busy you and your team are. Thank you for your time on this busy day.
Thank you for having me, Mike.